social sectors, we have most of female as educators, teachers, university lecturers, and also kindergarten teachers. Most of them are female. As for non-governmental institutions, civil society, there we have kind of balance, female and male. They are represented, both of them, but as position is getting higher and higher, the number of female is decreasing. You know that members of non-governmental organizations, they are female, but boss is male. Teachers are female, but school director is male. Nurses, mostly they are female, but director of the clinic, mostly they are male. As for judiciary system, fortunately, we have very huge number of female here. We have males and females. This depends. There is no very kind of significant disbalance. And is in bureaucracy, for instance, in local municipalities, in parliament, etc., sometimes number of females, they are more than male, but as for vertical, number of female is decreasing. So females, they are represented in all fields of civil society, but in higher positions, number of female is very few.
Yeah, it sounds that there is still not good situation of women participation in high level. If
we should work on it. Yeah. We should work on it. We have a lot of job to do in this direction. Yes.
Yeah, that's the situation. Sure. What do you think about the main reasons of not having good participation in higher level for female? What are the main reasons, and what are the steps that your government and civil society organization?
Okay, as for reasons why women are not mostly involved in high position, so this is I believe this has different reasons. We have cultural reasons as well, because of all domestic job is considered as female's job, as woman's job. If there is children in the family, if there is other people in the family, so women should take care of on them. This is definitely we have masculine on patriarch society, and our culture is very patriarch. So this is one of the reasons. And also I strongly believe that our female population, they have a kind of low self-esteem, so they does not believe in their possibilities, and they do not try to make some career to being promoted in high level positions. This is the reason number one. Number two, I strongly believe. So there are different reasons, and we should kind of work on it to give more education to female. You know that we have no problem with female who are educated, who graduated from different universities. Number of such females are very huge, but somehow when they, after the universities, when they get married, they try to take after on their families and not be involved in civil society life. So this is problem.
Hello, Mino.
Hello.
Hello. This is Raji. I'm from Nepal, and I'm working as a legal program manager at Women for Human Rights Single Women Groups. Basically, my organization work for the widowhood issue in Nepal, as well as the conflict affected women issue. So I have one small queries. What about the situation of UNHCR 1325 implemented part in your country? One question. And another is, what are the widowhood issue, especially widowhood issue in Georgia? And third one is definitely my queries also. What about the situation or status of the judiciary, women judiciary in Georgia?
Okay.
Thank you.
So thank you very much. So as for implementing UN Resolution 1925, as I already mentioned, we have two very serious conflict situation in Georgia, in South Ossetia and Abkhazia, and we had war with Russia in 2008. So two villages of my municipality, when I work, they are situated near to this conflict area, and within the framework of this resolution 1925, we conducted a needs assessment and assessed the special needs of female living in these villages, and we do our best to kind of respond on their needs. For instance, our government pays for study for those students who live in villages near this conflict area, and also we have persons who are internally displaced after this war with Russia, and the government gave them some houses and different payments we are giving to them in order to kind of improve their conditions. We have some special programs in order to respond to the needs of people who are internally displaced or live in near conflict areas, etc. As for judiciary system, so as I mentioned, actually I do not know exact figures, but about I believe less than 45% of judges, they are female. And our judiciary system or our law is gender blind, if you mean this, if I understand your question correctly.
Mhm. And do you know about the widowhood issue in your country? If widowhood issue,
About?
widowhood issue.
About widow?
Widow. Yeah.
Yes, widowhood issue.
Single woman.
Single women.
Single woman.
Yes,
Single woman.
yeah, I understand. About widows, in our municipality, no, we have no special program for widows, but government has. Government has, and there are some financial support for those widow female persons. It is not very much, but we still have this kind of support for them.
So government have provided like some social security policies to
Yes.
widowhood in your
Yes.
country also? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Nino, there is one query from our participant. She is a student. She wants to know what the domestic role of women and men in your country. She wants to ask.
Men?
roles.
Yeah, in domestic role, what is the role of women and men in a household situation here?
Okay, so what is the role of female or role of male in family? Yes,
Yeah.
Okay, so in Georgia, man is still considered as head of family, and female is considered not head of family. But in young generation, and I include myself to young generation as well, so we consider that we should be not kind of a boss and not boss, etc. We should be good partners and good friends, so young generation is more considering that in the family members they are equal, but as usual in Georgia, the family members they live together, together with the parents of husbands or wives side and with children. So together they live some 2 or 3 generations. This also I consider as a reason of psychological violence in families in Georgia. But actually, man is considered as a head of family, I can say.
Our participants, Mr. Gupta Bahadur Shrestha, also asked you some queries regarding the issue of children violence and women violence cases. Like in our country, there are some critical issues in child violation and women violence. He says women and child violation is registered 3 cases in every 14,000 women in our country. So what the situation in your country, you want to ask?
In terms of violence against women and children, yes. So you know that as I mentioned, we adopted the law on gender violence on domestic violence in 2006. And before adopting this law in Georgia, there was a kind of opinions that there are no cases of domestic violence in Georgia, and this is kind of not true that we have cases, but after the adopting the law on domestic violence, the information campaign was conducted throughout whole country, and the cases were very critically increased. But I strongly believe that they were increased because of awareness raising, because of every female or male or something else, they already know that this is violence, this is prohibited. Because of sometimes there was kind of opinions that this should be within the family, this is kind of normal, but right now we have increased number of cases because of awareness rising, I believe. So these cases, they existed in past as well, but right now we have more possibility to fight against this.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
May I ask questions?
Murari sir,
Yes. Yes, thank you very much for nice presentations. I have a small query that you talked about the representations of women in parliament. Yes, it is progressing now. So may I know that how many percentage of candidacy are providing by the political parties at elections? Means many the candidacy, many will be the ratio of winning of women, and how many percentage of women participation in political parties itself, I mean in central committee
Very
of
high.
political parties.
Thank you for very interesting question. Participation of women in political parties is very, very high, but they work on very low positions. They are in elections, they participate kind of, they are representing in elections, they go door to door campaigns and explain to people why one this or that should vote for this or that party. They do a lot of job, but not on high level, unfortunately. Yes.
Nepalko जस्तै रहेछ. Thank you very much for your answer. If someone has some queries, small
Ni-
queries regarding
Charu,
our presentation, please ask her. If you already finished, I will wrap up the session and conclude.
So may I say also, may I
One
express?
question.
Yeah, Kundaji. Okay.
Okay.
Please, one question.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Nino, for your effective presentation. And I
Thank
find
you.
most of the things are like Nepal. For example, from the history till now, there are so many similarities. But even today, you are
Hello.
also facing, Hazur, you are also facing the system of patriarchy. You know, that is why there is the. It also showed in the participation or in the every level. But I am so wondering, you are also there is also the president is the female. And what is the role of female president is there? One first, my question is that, and another is in your presentation you mentioned that there are no female candidate in the big cities, but in the small cities there are. So, what is the reason of this not elected any female in the big cities? That I want to know. The second question, and third one is how you are going to cope with the patriarchy system to your gender equality in the future. Is there any special provisions? Madam, please clarify all these questions. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you,
very
Kundaji.
much. The questions
Yes.
are very, very interesting. As for president, I should say that we had, after we declared our independence, this is the fifth president, and president, fifth president. In previous years, presidents in Georgia had a lot of power.
Yeah.
Now the system is changed, and president has very, very symbolic power. I believe this is one of the reasons why we right now have female president. And there was we are joking about this when during last election, Mrs. Salome Zurabishvili was elected. In the billboards was not picture of her, but picture of bosses and heads of her party, males. Yes, it was. As for mayors, mayors have a lot of power in Georgia, and that's why I believe that there are no candidates, no mayors in big cities, and only one female mayor in small towns.
Small town.
Yes. And what to do against this?
Sure.
I strongly believe that the education is the very, very critical issue. We should educate person. So I go door to door, from village to village. I meet person, female in villages, and try to explain them why it is important. So education, one more time education.
I have one query. What is the percentage of literacy rate of female? Female literacy rate.
Female
literacy rate. Literacy. No?
Educated.
Educated, yeah, educated.
Very high, very, very high.
Yeah, very high. Yeah, even though the situation is like that. It's very tough, yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Interesting, yes. I think we have some. Yes, Mr. Uddhav has some queries regarding the education and economy, employment situation in your country. And he want to ask, are you satisfied with the present situation of Georgia?
In terms of economy, no.
We are poor. About the employment and education?
We are a poor country. As for education, we have very huge problems as well, unfortunately. Situation is getting better step by step, but we should work on it more and more.
अब अरु साथीहरुको केही नभए अब र्याप अप गरौँ होला
एउटा लास्टमा म एउटा गर्छु निनो
हजुर ल
हेलो
अब एन्डिङमा जाउँ
इन्डिङमा खै दाइले इन्डिङ गर्नुहुन्छ होला रामबाबु दाइले केही समय
तपाईको केही छ भने भन्नु अनि रामबाबु दाइले इन्डिङ गर्नुहुन्छ नि
हुन्छ निनो
Yes.
I would like to go back in 2013 in Israel. You know, we have in the one POT program on gender and governance. And how can you compare your country and Israel, the women of Israel and your country? Very briefly, would you please compare the situation of women in Israel and Georgia? For example, women in Israel are military. They must have compulsion to join military after their 12th class. And they should have to do military service up to 2 years. And for male, it is for 3 years. And how do you compare the women in Israel and your country? For our reference and our friend will be informed about this. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for this question. Despite of I have been in Israel in 2013 and still am keeping contact with some Israeli people. I have not well known about situation of Israeli women, but I can say that there are some differences for sure because of, for instance, the military service in Israel for female is obligatory. In Georgia, this is not obligatory for female. What I can what I know definitely I can say. And also in terms of education, Israel is a more developed country than Georgia, and they have more possibilities to be educated, to be for instance, learn abroad, etc. And also they have a very huge success in agriculture. And right now we are trying to, Georgia tries to take examples of Israel and invite specialists from Israel here in Georgia and educate female person as well in order to contribute in agriculture, because Georgia also has very good conditions in agriculture, much more better condition, I say, I mean natural conditions in Israel, because of they have no water, we have a lot of water here in Georgia agriculture development. So we have to learn very much from Israel, female persons as well, and follow their examples of development of and success.
There is one question of my friend. He wants to know about your native language, very personal question. Can you tell you what is your native language? What is native language in Georgia? Is it Russian or the different?
Georgian.
Native language.
Georgian. It is Georgian. It is Georgian. It is in the Wikipedia. You can find it. The language is Georgian.
Say something in Georgian.
Yeah, your language.
Language. What is called your language?
Language.
Our language is called Georgian. I can say some words, few words.
Okay.
So I mentioned that the cubes of lion are equal, being male or female. I can say this is Georgian. So our language is one of the ancient languages, and we have unique alphabet, and we are very proud of it. It is Georgian, yes, Kartuli.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Nino.
Okay, hello.
Sakyo. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Questions, we are very, very interested. Thank you for this very good
yes. Thank you so much, Nino. on behalf of all our colleagues, I would like to say very thank you to you. We are very grateful that you have spared your time and share your experience on gender equality in Georgia. And you have responded all the questions very well. And it has been for us to know and that hope that we will have some other time, we can discuss on other issues, because this is not only gender equality, it can be about the development of country planning systems and bureaucratic systems and many other issues. So that we can share experience. So we are looking forward in the future also to have some common programs.
Looking forward.
For today, on behalf of all colleagues, I extend our sincere thanks to you and wish you all the best in future and in your career, and good to your family also. We have not asked many things about your personal life, how many children you have, what your husband is doing.
I have one boy.
Huh?
I have a son, only one.
Okay, good, very good, very good. And you have all the very pleasant family environment. Okay, thank you so much for today.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Very, very amazing experience. Thanks.
Yes.
Bye.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
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 Bye. Bye.
Good night. See you. See you again.
See you.
See you. See you soon. Yeah.
हाम्रो अब के अरे गुप्ता सर आज गाई यात्रा रहेछ, केही छ त गाई यात्राको? अब हाम्रो आफ्नो गाई यात्राको केही छ भने
8 बजे हेर्नु पर्यो नि। कोइरालाको छ भनेको होइन एपीमा
8 बजे त्यहाँ छ, नत्र एक दुईवटा हाम्रो गुप्ता सरले चाहिँ नि यहाँ सुनाउनुहुन्छ भने हाम्रो अम्बासरको केही छ? ल गुप्ता सर
म गाई यात्रामा उत्तर
अहिलेको गीत पनि गाए हुन्छ, राम्रो छ सर त्यो तपाईँको प्यारोडी गीत पनि।
सरलाई त्यहाँ टाइम दिँदै सर ठ्याक्कै हिँडिहाल्नु भएछ। त्यहाँ चाहिँ हाम्रो
मेरो भएन, डिस्कनेक्ट भएर बत्ती नै गयो, हेर्न पाइने नि पुरै एकदम
अप्लोजाइज गर्नु भएको थियो के?
हजुर। ल एउटा गाई यात्राको उपलक्ष्यमा एउटा केही त गर्नु पर्यो आजको समसामयिक, नत्र फेरि 1 वर्षपछि आउँछ।
अनि गीत गाइदियो कि मुक्तक बनाऊ?
ल तपाईँलाई जे इच्छा
गाइदिउ न, गीत पो रमाइलो होला। ल पूर्व प्रहरीको गीत फेरि मिठो हुन्छ नि त।
ल म गीत गाउन सुरु गरेँ है। प्यारोडी गीत हो फेरि, अब ओलीबाले मलाई मुद्दा हाल्न पाउनुहुन्न।
होइन, हामीले गोप्य राख्छ, एकदम यो कुरो गोप्य हुन्छ। ल सर, धर्म डर मान्नु पर्दैन, यो कुरो जुनै गोप्य रहन्छ। ल
नाचेको नाचै समृद्धिको ओछ्यानमा सुतेर, बुझ्नुभयो सरले? ओलीबा नाचेको नाचै समृद्धिको ओछ्यानमा सुतेर, ओलीबा नाचेको नाचै समृद्धिको ओछ्यानमा सुतेर, नेपाली त यसै छन् सुखी नडराउ केही पनि हुँदैन, बालुवा टारा लाँदैन कसैले अरिङ्गालको पोको भनेर। यो लेखेर तान्नुपर्छ है। लिम्पिया र लिपुले काला पानी खायो, लिम्पिया र लिपुले काला पानी खायो, राष्ट्रियता मचिएर कता ठक्कर लायो, साढे जुदा यतातर्फ मजा लिइरहेछन्, कार्यकर्ता भनेका त बिर्ख मण्डल भाछन्, ओलीबा नाचेको नाचै समृद्धिको ओछ्यानमा सुतेर, मेलम्चीले बगाएछ काठमाडौँको फोहर, फोहरभित्र कति कति अरब होला मोहर, अरब है अरब, बगाएछ काठमाडौँको फोहर, फोहर भित्र कति कति अरब होला मोहर, तुइन जति बगाएर नयाँ पुल बन्यो समृद्ध भो नयाँ नेपाल होइन कसले भन्यो गोलीबा नाचेको नाचे समृद्धिको ओछ्यानमा सुतेर अर्को नेपाल बन्न सक्छ पार्टी फुटाएर सांसदहरू धनी बन्लान् सही जुटाएर न्यायालय रहन भुल्ल न्याय नपाए प्रधानमन्त्री
यसले साथ दिएन त्यहाँ जो आए
नक्सा बन्यो धन्यवाद
धन्यवाद
गीत हो
गुप्तकार त गजबको छुपे रुस्तम कवि पो हुनुहुँदो रहेछ त आमा यस्तो राम्रो राम्रो कविता लेखिदिने प्यारोडी लेखिदिने कहिले नसुनाउने अब त दिनै पछि एउटा त जानै पर्ने हो नि त
दिनै पछि एउटा सुनाउन सकिन्छ
ध्यानाकर्षण प्यारोडी गीत के हो त्यो चाहिने भयो यिनीहरू
सरले मौका दिनुभएपछि म दिनदिन एक एकवटा सुनाइदिन सक्छु
धन्यवाद अब 7:30 पनि भइसकेछ
भयो
यो हाम्रो समय अलिकति बाँकी थियो यसमा गाई यात्रालाई अरू केही छ अम्बा सर केही छ अम्बा सरको केही छ
छैन सर मेरो केही छ केही छैन सर मेरो
सुदूरपश्चिममा गाई यात्रा मानिन्छ मानिँदैन कस्तो हुन्छ सुदूरपश्चिममा
सुदूरपश्चिममा गाई यात्रा मानिँदैन गौरा मनाइन्छ गौरा आउँदैछ
ल
हस् ल धन्यवाद अब अर्को पटक चाहिँ हामी त्यो एउटा कृषि सम्बन्धी त्यहाँको जर्जियाको त्यो एउटा सेयर गर्छु भनेको छ त्यहाँको फ्युचर अफ फार्मर भन्ने ग्रुपको एउटा उसले मेरो साथीले त्यो आज मेसेज गर्दै थियो उसको रिप्रेजेन्टेटिभ पनि आएको रहेछ अघि उसले मेसेज गरिरहेको थियो
त्यसकारण चाहिँ 8 बजे अब खाएर वरेर एपी1 हेर्न तयार हुनुपर्छ अहिले
धन्यवाद सबैलाई
नमस्कार अनि सुमन सर अब एउटा सानो हामी इन्फर्मल गफ गर्दै गरौँ यो उता विदेशीहरूको हजुर के थियो सर भोलि हजुर
शिक्षक हुने एकदम आध्यात्मिक चिन्तनको आफ्नै जीवन आफ्नै लगान
को
विषयमा हुनेछ है
रिसोर्स पर्सन को सर
हाम्रो पण्डित
अच्छा सर अनि मैले भने के भने
सानो चुटकिला भन्छु हाम्रो सूचनाको पण्डितले के गर्यो भन्ने बारेमा थुप्रै यहाँ चाहिँ कथाहरू बनेछ है कि त्यो जब हामीले चाहिँ पण्डित लेख्छौँ त्यो हेरेपछि सबभन्दा आँखा पहिले पण्डितमा गएछ अनि मलाई अस्ट्रेलियाबाट चाहिँ एकजना साथीले भन्नुभयो सुवर्णजी जब यो तपाईँ यत्रो दिनसम्म दिनका दिन यो पण्डित ल्याउनलाई कति मान्छे चिन्नु भएको छ तपाईँले भनेर चाहिँ म छक्क परेँ भन्नु यो जोक नम्बर 1 अब जोक नम्बर 2 आज मात्रै सुनेको यो चाहिँ एकजना भाइ चाहिँ नि एक दिन चाहिँ हाम्रो महालक्ष्मीको आत्महत्याको बारेमा सुन्न आएछ त्यो दिन चाहिँ नि पण्डित देखेन चाहिँ भोलिपल्टदेखि पण्डित देखेपछि उसले चाहिँ नि यो कार्यक्रम सबै प्रकाश नागेको सारा संस्कृत भाषामा हुन्छ भन्ने ठानेर आउँदै हानेछ हेर्नुहोस् है जबकि त्यो मान्छे मेरो असाध्यै नजिकको नातेदार आज सोधेको त तपाईँहरूको सबका सब पण्डित आउँछ अब म बुझ्दिनँ भनेर अब म त चाहिँ नि त्यहाँ के कुरा गर्ने भनेर नआएको भनेर घाटा खाइएछ एकजना पार्टिसिपेन्ट त्यसरी चाहिँ नि लामो समय हामीले गुमाएछ पण्डित
यो त भयङ्करै जोक भयो नि त
आज अङ्ग्रेजी बोल्ने पण्डित परेछन् फेरि हैन
अब वाणिज्य ब्याङ्कको साथीले वाणिज्य ब्याङ्कको साथी जसले धीरलाई चिन्नुहुन्छ, एक दिन उहाँले पण्डित धीर भण्डारीले मलाई च्याट गर्नुभयो, सुवर्ण सर धीर सरले वाणिज्य ब्याङ्क छोडेपछि के संस्कृत आचार्य गरेर चाहिँ नि आउनु भएको हो। अनि मैले च्याटमै लेखेँ, त्यो चाहिँ च्याटमै लेखेँ। अनि वाणिज्य ब्याङ्क छोडेपछि एकदमसँग म्युजिक सिकेर फेसबुकमा चाहिँ नि सधैँ गीत गाएको चाहिँ म्युजिकमा गाएको हुन्छ के। अनि तपाईँले उहाँलाई इन्करेज गरेर तपाईँ पनि डेली यसमा भाग लिनु र तपाईँले चाहिँ नि आफूले जानेको विधामा अरू साथीहरूलाई चाहिँ नि सिकाउनु भयो भनेदेखि युथियाले तपाईँलाई पनि पण्डितको पदवी दिने भनेपछि उहाँ कन्टिन्यू आउनु भएको छ। त्यसले चाहिँ नि इन्करेज
एउटा मोटिभेसन पनि भएछ नि त पण्डित त
पनि आउनु उहाँले क्वेसन पनि राख्नु भएको थियो। त्यस आज पनि त्यो साथी आउनु त्यो क्वेसन पनि राख्नु भएको थियो कि च्याटमा। अनि अब हामीले यो एउटा पण्डितको पदवी दिने चाहिँ नि नियम बनाउनु पर्यो भन्ने लागिरहेको छ।
यसो गर्नु पर्ला, हाम्रो 100 श्रृङ्खला पुगेपछि त्यो उत्कृष्ट पण्डित यो महापण्डित भन्ने उपाधि दिने एउटा पनि मध्ये उत्कृष्ट पण्डितलाई महापण्डित अथवा सबभन्दा धेरै पण्डित गर्ने, सबभन्दा इन्ट्रेस्टिङ स्टुडेन्ट गर्ने के हो,
म बिदा भएँ है।
अनि त्यो महापण्डितको उपाधि दिने।
सबैसँग बिदा भएँ ल, हस् ल।
ओके सर, मैले एक दुईटा कुरा भन्न खोजेको कि सर, जस्तै होइन सबैजना युवाहरूको कार्यक्रम हुन्छ नि, त्यसमा चाहिँ यो इभन डेमा मेरो छोरालाई मैले सहभागी किन्नु भयो भने मलाई मेसेज आएको छैन त्यो ग्रुपमा, त्यो लिड गर्ने कस्तो सपना हो, सपनाले नै गरिराख्या हो।
सपना हो। आज मेरो छोरीको छ है
सेल्फ इनिसिएसन लिने
मान्छे छ र
आज 8 बजे मेरो छोरीको छ। आज चाहिँ नि हाउ टु स्टार्ट न्यू बिजनेस एन्ड बिजनेस के अरे इन्टरप्रेन्योरसिप सम्बन्धी छ। आज
त्यो भयो कि सर, एकजना आइसकेपछि सुन्नु न, उनीहरूलाई त अब हामीले लिड गर्नुभन्दा त उनीहरूलाई नै इन्भल्भ गराउनु पर्यो कि कम्युनिकेसन कम्प्लिट गर भन्नु पर्यो तिनीहरूलाई। जस्तै उसले इन्फर्मेसन आएको छैन भन्थ्यो, एड्रेस चाहिँ के होला सर, त्यसो भए उसलाई त्यसलाई इन्भल्भ गराउनलाई कम्युनिकेसन गर्नु भन्नु पर्यो।